But first, I want to talk about the Iranian crisis that never was, which was so aptly put by Vox, the Iranian crisis that never was. Last night, I said, and I called it, and I don't think it was difficult to call, right? Iran said that they are going to promptly release, last night, they were going to promptly release the 10 soldiers who were in custody because a U.S. Navy boat had technical malfunctions, and it traversed into Iranian waters. As a result, you can expect this in international waters. Once you cross into the sovereign territory of another nation, you're going to be detained. Iran detained 10 of our soldiers and 2 ships. They released a statement saying, notified the United States that they would be released promptly. And promptly, we said last night, needed to be damn near immediate. And that's exactly what happened. They were released this morning, much to the dismay of many Republicans. You saw Senator Tom Cotton. You may not know him by name, but you definitely will know that he is one of the co-conspirators of the 47 Republicans who signed a letter to the Ayatollah in Iran trying to sabotage the nuclear deal. That's Senator Cotton, the treasonous Senator Cotton, because if you undermine the negotiations that are critical to national security, you are a traitor. This Senator Cotton got on television last night and made it seem as if this was a black eye on President Obama. This is so embarrassing for President Obama. This is Iran is trying to provoke, and they want a war, and Iran is stretching and flexing their muscles, showing how strong they are, in spite of, or rather despite the fact that they are going to get $100 billion in their assets unfrozen in the matter of days. So he laid out the most dire situation. Tom Cotton laid out the most dire situation, only to find out this morning Iran has released the soldiers exactly as they said they would, exactly as the U.S. expected them to, and there was no crisis for them to run around like chickens without a head with their hair on fire. I don't know how that would work with their hair on fire and not having a head, but you get the picture. The utter ridiculousness of the Republican Party, I guarantee you, they wanted this more than anything else to mirror 1979, 1980, the Iran hostage situation, where the hostages, U.S. embassy hostages, were taken hostage by Iranian students at the height of the Iranian Revolution. And they held those hostages until the inauguration of Ronald Reagan. Somewhere in America last night, a prominent or multiple prominent Republicans and conservatives had wet dreams of this playing out like this so that they could bruise President Obama's record and legacy on foreign relations and foreign policy. And the only thing they could do this morning was pick their faces up off the ground, because there was no crisis. There was no call. Matter of fact, Tom Cotton didn't even need to get on television. But Joe Scarborough, our resident infidel on MSNBC, decided to have Tom Cotton on anyway to explain just how bad this non-crisis crisis was. He had him come on and explain that this is still a black eye for President Obama, despite the fact that Iran released them within 24 hours, and that it's pretty much over. But no, they had to see something behind. They had to see conspiracy. They had to see something treacherous. They had to see something that they could attack President Obama on. And it just really goes to show you that they have not one bit of concern about the United States of America, the security of the United States of America. They are only concerned with power, their own personal political power, and how they can obtain it. And they want to obtain it on the back of the hatred that their base has for President Obama. So long as they can vilify President Obama, it doesn't matter if it's at the expense of our economy. It doesn't matter if it's at the expense of our national security. It doesn't matter if it's at the expense of the lives of their own constituents. I can't even say the word right tonight. Constituents, whatever. It doesn't matter what it costs, so long as they can use it to obtain political power. And that's exactly the only reason that Tom Cotton and the rest of his ilk have anything to say about the Iranian non-crisis crisis.